is Fields Auto Group Cubs pregame live.
All right, after 2 extra inning games against the Rockies, they'll complete the series this afternoon here on Comcast Sportsnet. And it's trade deadline day. We're 2.5 hours away. Plenty to cover here over the next 30 minutes. And hello, welcome to Cubs pregame live, presented by our great partners at the Fields Auto Group, along with Todd Hollinsworth. I'm David Kaplan. All right, let's start with last night. You and I were out at the ballpark. Cubs come back at the Valbuena home run. They get the game tied, and then Wesley Wright runs into some trouble.
Well, he ran into some trouble, no doubt about it. A couple walks got him in trouble, and again, some pitches out over the plate. This is a young Rockies team. Listen, they're a good fastball hitting team. You can't fall behind these guys. They're going to be aggressive, and you've seen it all series long. If you're going to make mistakes out over the plate, they will make you pay, and you saw that yesterday as they built that inning there in the 10th.
All right, Rick Renteria is in his first season as a big league manager, and the first time he's dealing with the trade deadline. This morning, Cubs manager talked about how he's handling that interesting situation.
I'm sensing the nuance that I have to deal with right now is I have a player that's been very productive for us that I've got to kind of hold off on using a little bit. That's how it affects me in that regard. But I don't concern myself with it too much because I really can't, do anything about that. That's just kind of part of the gig, and I think that I rely on the other guys that are here and available to us. But it's an interesting, dynamic. It's good that, you have players that are coveted by other clubs, which means that they're actually going out there and doing nice jobs. So, it's just one of those things that happens at this time of the year, and hopefully, as it all shakes out, we'll still end up landing on our feet and continue to move forward.
All right, with more on the trade deadline and the rumors surrounding Emilio Bonifacio, we go out to our Kelly Crow live at Wrigley Field.
Thanks a lot, Cappy. That was an interesting situation in the clubhouse this morning. I know John Baker was just trying to loosen the mood. He's in the locker right next to Emilio Bonifacio, and he said, hey, man, if you're traded, I don't want anybody moving in here. I want both lockers. But again, I think just trying to loosen the mood because it is a very difficult situation for Emilio, who is being held out of the lineup once again today with the trade deadline just a couple hours away. He spoke last night about how that situation was for him throughout this entire process.
It's not in my hands, so I'm just going to the field tomorrow, so I'm being a part of the cup yet, so it's not like nothing I can do about it. Just wait.
Is there any part of it that might even be sort of exciting to think that you could go to a contender for the last couple of months?
You know, it's kind of like you want to be part of that, but like right now you still be part of the cup, so I just gotta keep pushing for the cup. So.
Did it feel odd today coming to the park to take batting practice, but you're not in the lineup and thinking, you might not be here long?
Not really. I just take it like normal day. So, I've been in that situation before, so it's not a big concern.
I'll talk to your agent before the game and get just talk to you about it.
Yeah, before he just said maybe, something's gone on bad.
Do you have any idea where you might go? Do you have any cities that you...
No. I've been hearing about it, but it's nothing like, I don't know.
Bonifacio did roll into the clubhouse this morning in his suit, so he will be ready to hit the road with the team if nothing happens. But of course, the rumbles continue, and not just with the trade deadline, but of course earlier this week, many concerned with the news of Neil Ramirez hitting the deal with a sore right tricep. The righty back in the clubhouse this morning after a couple days rest, feels confident he will be ready to go when his stint on the DL is over.
I appreciate the organization for trying to take care of me, and I'm the kind of guy that wants to be out there every day, and I don't want to have to be babied, and that's why I think the stuff I'm doing with PJ and Bus and is getting me where I need to be, and so just take this downtime here, get the issue corrected, and get back out there and finish strong.
Are you enjoying the relief pitcher track you're on, or do you see yourself as a starter again eventually?
I've always said whatever role I'm in right now, that's what I'm going to try to be the best at, and I really like being a reliever. I love coming in and giving the team, a big out if they need one, and so that part of it I love, and I love the starter routine too. So whatever they want to do with me, I'm on board with it.
Most likely Riley Ramirez will rehab in Mesa late next week, maybe a game or two, but certainly hopes to be ready for the next homestand. And also, guys, on the pitching front, Felix Drabant, who of course the Cubs acquired yesterday, has not yet reported here in Chicago, but has to do that within 48 hours, so it should be by either tonight or early tomorrow morning that he'll be with the team. And certainly they're looking forward to adding him to the bullpen. If nothing else, they'll decide that once he reports here, but they could certainly use another arm out there as much as they've been taxed this week, guys.
All right, thank you, Kelly. We'll check in with you a little later today. She'll be around throughout the ball game and have a post-game report as well. All right, one guy that hasn't been talked about in trade rumors is Luis Valbuena. He's having a very solid homestand, batting over 300, 3 home runs, a game tire last night, 9 RBIs. Here's Ricky Renteria on Valbuena's approach at the dish.
Well, he's pretty calm in the box in terms of his makeup. I think nothing kind of rattles him. He stays within an approach which is centered on getting pitches that he likes to hit, and if they're not in the area, he's able to, you know, calmly take them. He gets into 2 strikes. He doesn't worry about it. He battles pretty well. So he's a really good hitter. His on base has been really consistent, and his batting average obviously shot up quite a bit through little part of the earlier part of the season and just prior to the All-Star break. But all in all, I think when he gets into the batter's box, he's a pretty good hitter, and guys are you know, when they face him, they have a formidable opponent, and he's done well.
All right, Cubs lineup for today. Here's what Renteria will trot out there. But first, let's talk about Luis Valbuena. Last night, I said to you, he's going to hit one deep into the night, and he did to tie the ball game up.
He had a great game yesterday. I mean, you're seeing him. He's all over the fastball. Again, that's good. Listen, he went through a little bit of a slump there at the end of the first half. He's swinging the bat better. Again, listen, I've heard his name pop up in trade rumors. His name is out there. Maybe not nearly as much as Emilio Bonifacio, but certainly would be a great addition to anybody's organization if, in fact, that's what happens. But you know what? We'll enjoy him while we've got him, because he's putting together quite a season. He's getting on base. He's doing his job right now, and he is all over the fastball. Do not make a mistake to him over the plate, or he's going to make you pay.
You know, he was the guy everyone said, give Mike Olt opportunities to play every day. He really struggled other than the long ball, and Valbuena stepped up and grabbed that job.
Well, this is what I love to tell, stories like this. Valbuena has been, you know, pushed aside multiple times. You know, listen, sometimes it's circumstance, not directly the organization just kind of holding you back, but other guys getting opportunities, and all he does is wait, and then he gets the opportunity, and he takes it, and he plays well, and then he kind of gets pushed aside a little bit again, and then somebody else gets a chance, and, well, there he is again, and he's back in there swinging the bat again. It's a great story. Valbuena's had a nice little run here with the Cubs, and, well, we'll see. We'll see what kind of trade value he creates.
All right, Cubs starting in the lineup: Alcantara, Chris Coghlan, Anthony Rizzo, Castro, Ruggiano, Valbuena, Castillo, Lake, and Jake Arrieta. What do you see there as you look at Jake Arrieta, who's had a real good year?
Yeah, well, these guys, you know, I expect them to be good today. I mean, you're going up against your 4th lefty in a row, so you got a lineup out there. You know, Anthony, Starlin, obviously the guys in the middle in the lineup. I want to see Starlin start to get going. He had a nice last at bat last night. Hopefully he does. The production has slowed just a little bit. I mean, I'm talking about the last few games, but collectively, you're going up against your 4th lefty. All of these guys very, very similar in style. So I would expect a nice approach today, maybe using a little bit more of the midfield, center field, and again, the ball's going to be jumping a little bit. It's warming up out there.
All right, let's take a look at the Rockies lineup for manager Walt Weiss. Charlie Blackmon, Corey Dickerson, Nolan Arenado, Morneau, Gonzalez, Willem Rosario, Rutledge, DJ LeMahieu, the ex-Cub, and Pedro Hernandez.
No, it's a good little team. I'll tell you what, I know it's not one that we on the national level talk about so much. Cargo back in there, Morneau, Arenado. That's a nice middle of your lineup. Blackmon has the all-star season going, but this is a good fastball hitting team. Arrieta's got to be on his game today. Those secondary pitches are going to be key. If he makes some mistakes out over the plate, this is the kind of team that will make you pay.
All right, time now for the Comcast Business Edge. As we look at Rockies right fielder Charlie Blackmon, the leadoff man for Colorado today. You look at the numbers, 5 for 14 this series. He's a really talented guy. He's an all-star.
Well, I mean, what you saw from Blackmon, not only with the speed, but look at the approach. I mean, you're going to see him pull some balls to the right side fastball, away pulls it in the whole slider, up and away, goes the other way, drives it in the gap. I mean, this kid's been clutch. 55 RBIs, I believe, going into yesterday. Out of the leadoff spot. What a great season he's put together. He's their all-star, and he's somebody that they're looking to build around right now.
All right, Cubs pregame live presented by the Fields Auto Group. Jake Arrieta on the bump for the Cubs today, looking to finish up a solid July for the big righty. We'll preview the pitching matchup, and we are are about 40 minutes away from first pitch. So why don't you get a lunch plan together? PapaJohns.com. Watch some baseball, eat some pizza.
This Cubs injury report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy. Taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
Fields has a level of integrity second to no other car dealer I've ever dealt with.
Service is over the top. I mean, I've never had a car dealership that is so easy to work with.
It's what we do, including our amenities program, which is absolutely free and includes free car washes and loaners. Fields matters because you matter.
The process of buying a car here at Fields is so easy. It's just easy.
For Fields Auto Group locations, go to fieldsauto.com.
You know, at Domino's, failure is an option. We know that not everything is gonna work.
In order to get better, in order to move ahead, you're gonna make mistakes.
Have you ever heard of the cookie pizza?
I don't want to talk about it.
If we gave up after every mistake, we wouldn't come up with something new like our specialty chicken. We take our boneless white meat chicken and bake our toppings, sauces, and cheese right on top.
Order 2 of our new specialty chicken or medium 2-topping pizzas for only $5.99 each.
We cannot be afraid to fail. It sounds crazy, but it's who we are.
When you run a business, you can't settle for slow. That's why I always choose the fastest intern, the fastest printer, the fastest lunch, turkey club, the fastest pencil sharpener, the fastest elevator, the fastest speed dial, the fastest office plan. So why wouldn't I choose the fastest Wi-Fi? I would.
Switch to Comcast Business Internet and get the fastest Wi-Fi included. Comcast Business, built for business.
To those who still find the taste of 5-Hour Energy a little strong, don't miss the 5-Hour Energy $100,000 Yummification Contest. Mix 5-Hour Energy with your favorite beverage. Yummification. Name it. Shoot it. Send us the video. Yummification. You could win a share of $100,000.
For rules and requirements, go to 5hourYummification.com.
The 5-Hour Energy Yummification Contest.
It's delicious.
Unbelievable.
This is awesome.
Come on, really? I knew he was going to shank it.
I didn't shank it.
Seriously, what are we supposed to do with this?
What if I just,
No.
Come on,
no, don't do that. Sorry.
He's really in there.
That's slime dripping off?
It is.
Yep.
That's nice.
Wouldn't it be great if every situation had helpful notes? That's why at Great Clips, we have clip notes. Notes that say exactly what you like. So don't just get a cut, get your hair cut. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Cubs pregame live presented by the Fields Auto Group. There's Big Jim Boykowitz, the marketing guru for the Cubs. Kissing babies and shaking hands as they get ready for the Rockies and the Cubbies on a gorgeous day at Wrigley Field. Guy looks like he could play. 6'5", built, ready to roll. Anyway, Cap and Holly back with you. Let's look at the pitching matchup for today's game. Jake Arrieta, we'll start with him against Pedro Hernandez. Jake Arrieta has been outstanding.
Oh, we certainly love what we've seen from Jake. Again, it's going to be a good mix. It's going to be important for him today going up against that Colorado Rocky team. I continue to tell you guys, they're a good fastball hitting team. We know Jake's got a good fastball, 92, 94 miles an hour, but I think his secondary stuff, in my mind, is going to be key today because of who those Rocky hitters are. It's getaway day. Let's not forget that. And sometimes those at-bats, I talked about this yesterday, after the extra inning game, guys get a little bit more aggressive. They get a lot more aggressive on getaway day as well. So you might see some swinging. That secondary stuff's going to be big in my mind for Jake today, and we'll see how good he is. But if he mixes it up, these Rockies have not seen him, so clear advantage to Jake Arrieta.
His breaking stuff has just been dirty, and he was throwing breaking balls at 89 miles an hour against the Cardinals with a 96-mile-an-hour heater. Boy, when you're able to do that, you're really tough to hit.
No, you're dialed in, and again, that's what he wants to do. He likes to pitch he likes to pitch away. He likes to stay away, but again, the ability to stay out there, to go out there with the fastball, the two-seamer, and then back it up with that little bit of a cutter, man, it just keeps hitters off balance.
Yeah, he's a guy that has obviously benefited from the tutelage of Chris Bosio. Bosio does not get enough credit because the Cubs are not a good enough team yet. But Chris Bosio is one of the better pitching coaches in the game.
Well, I really think Jake has grown up. I mean, I've talked to him about this. You know, the pace of his game. You think of what his circumstances were in Baltimore, what the expectations are or were there, and what they are here. Things are a little bit little calm right now just because of the condition of the organization and the expectations around here. It's allowed him to set his own pace, to kind of get in there and slow things down. When he is in that good rhythm, and you see how deliberate he is when he pitches, he gets to a great spot. I don't think anybody's debated how good he can be. I think we're just now finally starting to see it.
You know, it's funny, you'll see Don Cooper on the White Sox heralded as one of the best, and he is an elite pitching coach. But when some guys come over and struggle, it's like a light goes on when they work with a different voice.
Right. Well, I think Chris Bosio, over here, really, the ability, good coaches at the major league level have the ability to get to all different types of personalities. I mean, these guys all, they have different things they bring to the table. And what Chris has really done is help them focus on what makes them great. And I think, again, a lot of credit. And the Cubs know this, by the way, how good Chris Bosio is. That's why they're not ever going to let him go. At least I hope so.
That's right. That's why they locked him up to a multi-year deal in the offseason. We'll take a time out. We'll come back. We've got more for you. We've got Holly's keys to the game, and I tried and cut his 3-game lead to 2, the key performer. It's all coming up, plus a lot of action so far on the trade deadline. Guys on the move. We'll tell you about it. Coming up right here on CSN.
Does anyone know a trustworthy roofer? I need a ranked list of roofers with detailed reviews.
Carol, you know you can find that online, right? You can even buy homeowners insurance online from Esurance.
I am desperate for a roofer.
That's not how it works.
Now you can buy homeowners insurance online with Esurance. Their simple, intuitive tools help guide you to the right coverage for your home. You could even get money back every year you don't make a claim. Welcome to the modern world. Esurance, backed by Allstate. Visit esurance.com for a quote.
Angie posts, ugh, this stupid AC in this stupid car. It only works on high. Hang tight, Angie, because the Honda Summer Clearance event is here. This Honda CR-V has awesome standard features, like a rear view camera and Bluetooth. Want to borrow my brush? Thanks. Keep it.
Hurry in to get a great deal on a Honda, named Most Trusted Brand by KBB.com. The Honda Summer Clearance event is on now at your Honda dealer.
It's on. The games are on. The coverage is on. The action is on the all-new SEC network. And it's all on Xfinity, where you get the most live college football, including the Pac-12 networks, the Big Ten network, and ESPN Goal Line, plus the X1 Sports app to experience it all like never before. You can't get all this with DirecTV. Enjoy the all-new SEC network on TV and on the go with Watch ESPN starting August 14th. On Xfinity, your home for the most live sport.
The DirecTV customers you're about to meet have allowed us to switch their service to Dish Network.
When we switched, we expected to have the same channels, basically the same package, same price, but what we found out was we were missing some of our favorites. The channels that we found out weren't in our package were actually available on Dish Network, but they were on the upgraded package, so we'd have to end up paying more for channels that we got when we had DirecTV. It's just not a fair comparison, right? So we might be paying less, but you're certainly getting less.
I'm Dr. Andy, the Kia man. At Evergreen Kia, we're always fighting high prices. Yeah! And other people's high payments. Kia! Woo! Have no fear. Kia man is here, and I'll defend you from these guys, their high prices and their high payments, and all the other competition.
And you'll save hundreds on gas with our fuel-efficient Kias, like this new Kia Sportage, loaded with equipment and gets 28 miles per gallon. Only $18,895 or $174 a month.
Take good care of my Kia, and we'll take good care of you.
Sports Talk Live, presented by the all-new Chevy Silverado, tonight at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Welcome back to Fields Auto Group Cubs pregame live.
All right, trade deadline is here. 3 o'clock today. A little over 2 hours from right now, the Cardinals make a move. John Lackey for Alan Craig and Joe Kelly. And, Holly, there's an interesting codicil in the contract of John Lackey. Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, everybody thinks this is for the now. It certainly is. I mean, they've already picked up Masterson. You had Lackey, and you put that together with Wainwright, and you're in a great spot. No, listen, John Lackey had surgery, Tommy John surgery, a couple seasons ago. Now, when he signed his extension, he had something in there, one of those little clauses. If that happened,
Theo put that in.
That the last year, I don't know if it was Theo, it might have been Theo. I guess it probably would have been, but it's very interesting, right? So that last year of the deal, is guaranteed at $500,000, the big league minimum. So the Cardinals are getting him for obviously the rest of this year and next year at $500,000. Now, they had to pay for that, and that's what you see with Kelly and Craig going back. But right now, Craig is struggling mightily. He's got an OPS at 683. Listen, good run with the Cardinals, but a tough year this year. They tried to get better offensively by getting better on the mound. I mean, I've been talking about this with the Cardinals for quite some time. They're still struggling to score runs, but they've got a rotation now to mess with. Ooh.
And the Red Sox continue to make moves, because earlier today they sent John Lester to the Oakland A's in a deal with Johnny Gomes for Yoenis Cespedes, a guy the Cubs tried to sign a couple years ago.
Right. Well, you talk about that. I mean, Cespedes going over, it's kind of getting mixed reactions, which is, I guess, a good thing. You know, you look at it from both sides. I mean, I love what the A's have done. I mean, look at this rotation. Lester, Zamarja, Sonny Gray, Scott Kazmir. Oh, my. I mean, holy cow. What a rotation the A's now have. They also pick up Johnny Gomes. You know, listen, he's going to get more playing time with Cespedes, obviously going back to Boston. Now there's the angle there. Hey, listen, look what you gave up. Yoenis Cespedes. He's making big-time coin. You got to remember, the A's are a small market team. I just love the angle that the A's are in this, and then they went for it. And they said, now's our time to win. Let's make something happen. Let's go get a John Lester. I understand the Red Sox are pretty excited right now that they got themselves Cespedes. He's a big-time right-handed power guy. But I told you, Cappy, you know, my big thing on this is, what's the reflection? Look at the price of the bats. Woo-hoo-hoo! Cubs fans, what do we have in the minor league system? And lots of them.
That would be bats.
Bats! We've got tons of bats. Who's not excited to start seeing these things? I mean, listen, we've got to figure out how this thing's going to play itself out. We've got the prospects. We've got the bats. We know that story's going to start turning for us. But I'll tell you what, that Cespedes deal excited me because, again, I said, ooh, Lester, Cespedes, let's add this up. We got some bats to do some stuff with.
All right, Ryan Dempster was a teammate of John Lester's while with the Boston Red Sox. Won a ring with him. Earlier this morning, I talked to Demp on our radio show, Cap and Haw, on 87.7 The Game. Ryan discussed how Lester, who's a free agent, would fit in on the north side of our city.
I can't praise him enough. He goes about everything the right way. If you were to give him $200 million tomorrow, it's not going to change the way John Lester goes about his business and the way he works and the preparation that he puts in and how he handles himself. And he's a tremendous human being. He's, and a great pitcher and a great teammate. And so, and a great leader. You know, you learn by example around a guy like that. And on top of all of that, he's a dominant pitcher. He goes out there in the toughest of leagues and against the toughest of hitters and can mow through a really great lineup. So, I think that's a guy that could definitely help, the Chicago Cubs and their future going forward.
All right, John Lester, going to hit free agency, it appears, in 2 months. If he said to you, Todd, I want to play for your team, the Chicago Cubs, I want 6 for 125, 120, 130, what's the difference? Would you do it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I certainly would. I mean, Demp's right about that. John Lester's that guy, has been for the Boston Red Sox for quite some time. He's 3-time All-Star. I mean, this guy is a competitor. We all saw what he did during the World Series last year. This guy's got a track record. He wants to pitch. And what I love about the guy is, don't tell me what my circumstances have to be. Just tell me where I'm pitching every 5th day, and I'm going to go get it done. Listen, I understand these deals. What $100 million deals always work out? I mean, I saw a nice report on this the other day. When you start to get into it, I mean, most of these deals, you feel like, we spent an awful lot of money, no matter who it is. So again, Lester, the price tag is going to be high. But when you talk about his character, you talk about who he is, probably what he's going to do for the A's. I mean, you know that he's going to get his money. But again, he's the top of a rotation guy. He's a World Series winner, and this guy is, again, just great character all the way through. So you heard what Demp said. I mean, you got to build your rotation there somewhere. I mean, think Lester and Arrieta right now. That gets me excited.
All right, let me ask you about bats, because we were talking about minor league bats, and the Cubs have decided to hang on to Justin Ruggiano and Chris Coghlan. They may not be everyday all-star players, but they're very capable offensive players, and they've had a ton of action, teams calling, and they've said no. We want to try and compete next year. We're going to keep these guys.
Well, but this isn't a giveaway, and I think that's what fans have to understand. I mean, you've got talented guys here who are having solid seasons. Coghlan has reestablished himself. I mean, at best. I mean, you could make the argument maybe he goes to a contender and he's a 4th outfielder, but Coghlan has done a fantastic job, as has Ruggiano. These guys are going to get bats here in the now. Listen, they do have value here, and we're not just having a handout because we're the Cubs right now, and, our future's not today, or our future's down the road. It's not right now. So you're in a position where, you need to have some of these guys in the clubhouse. I mean, Rick Renneria, you got Arrieta, you can't just take everybody away from them. These guys have been integral, they've been big, and they put together good performances on the field as well, and I think they're going to have even more value off the field as you start to see some of these young guys come along.
All right, we've got to take another time out here on our pregame show brought to you by the Fields Auto Group. We will have Holly's keys and our key performers before we hand it off to Len and JD. It's coming up right here on the home of the Cubs, Comcast Sportsnet.
Did you know a 10-second test could help your business avoid hours of delay caused by slow internet from the phone company? That's enough time to record a memo. Idea for sales giveaway. Return a call. Sign a contract. Pick a tie. Take a break with Mr. Duck. Practice up for the business trip. Fly to Florida. Win an award. Close a deal. Hire an intern. And still have time to spare.
Check your speed. See how fast your internet can be. Switch now and add voice and TV for $34.90. Comcast Business. Built for business.
I'm a contractor. It's a good feeling to build something.
I don't see it.
Clients aren't always visual, so visual aids are important, like brochures, posters, proposals.
Oh, I see it.
I print all my stuff at the UPS store down the street. They help me with everything.
He likes it.
Business is good.
Stop into the UPS store today to learn how you can save big with the Key Savings Card.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire Company.
Beth posts, "My car is falling apart. One expensive piece at a time." Hashtag, "Time for a new car." Perfect timing, Beth, because the Honda Summer Clearance event is here. Check out the Honda Civic with awesome standard features like a rear-view camera and Bluetooth. If I had a dime for every time my customers' old cars broke apart and fell through a sinkhole, yeah.
Hurry in to get a great deal on a Honda, named most trusted brand by KBB.com. The Honda Summer Clearance event is on now at your Honda dealer.
The $4 menu presents many options, yet grants us only one stomach.
Master? How does one decide between the original double and cheese or the fresh guacamole steak burger, the garlic double steak burger, or an all-beef Chicago-style footlong? How do you decide, Master?
Pictures.
The $4 menu, where all meals are under $4 at Steak and Shake.
When you get away from smartphones and video games and tablets, it's amazing what you can really plug into. This spring, shop the brands you love, plus thousands of items on sale now. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
Sports Authority is proud to be the official sporting goods retailer of the Chicago Cubs. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
Close out the series before the Cubs board their charter jet for Los Angeles to battle the Dodgers in a weekend series starting tomorrow. All right, time for our Fields Auto Group keys to today's game. Holly.
All right, here we go. Listen, chance to win a series. I'm all about it. I want to see some good ball today. Great unknown. I'm really just talking about Jake Arrieta and going up against those Rockies hitters. Now, I've said it before. I mean, again, they're a good hitting, fastball hitting team. Arrieta has got a good fastball. I mean, it's going to lead the way, but I do think his secondary stuff is going to be key today, as those Rockies, again, will probably be very aggressive against Jake Arrieta. So that's going to be important, but still an advantage to the Cubs in that none of these Rockies hitters have just seen how good Jake Arrieta is, so clearly advantage there. Moving along, let's do it again. Another lefty in Pedro Hernandez. I mean, this is what this is about. I mean, I can sit here and tell you about his stuff. I mean, he's got a fastball, 89 miles an hour, cutter, curveball, changes, who he is. But again, the Cubs have seen this now for 4 straight days. In my personal opinion, you've got the roadmap right in front of you guys. I know it's going to be a little bit of a different arm slot, but again, same side of the plate. So I think we should be able to put together some quality at-bats, maybe even a little bit more so than we've seen. We've gotten down in the last 2 ball games and had to battle back. I'd love to see them jump on this guy and get in that bullpen early. I'm mentioning the bullpen, key number 3, state of the pen. Again, advantage Cubs. We're in great shape right now, even after that 16-inning affair. I don't think the Rockies are nearly in as good a shape, even after last night's outing. They've got some guys who have logged some serious innings, but I think you've got a real advantage to get to Hernandez early today, and if you can get him out of there after 5 and get back in that Rockies bullpen, I think you can do more damage. I think our bullpen's at full strength right now, and so we're in a good spot.
Right. time for our key performers today. I've won the last couple in a row. I get to go first. It's a Rizzo Thursday. Always take Anthony Rizzo on Thursdays. I'll go Anthony Rizzo.
Rizzo Thursday, really? Interesting. All right, fine. I'm going to go Starlin Castro because it's Starlin Castro Thursday.
There you go.
What do you think about that?
I think I've won 2 in a row. See if I can get number 3 and get back in this thing. All right, thank you for watching Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. We will see you on the postgame show. It's time for the Cubs and Rockies on the north side. And don't forget, anything breaks on the trade deadline, we'll have it for you on our inning updates. No Emilio Bonifacio in today's lineup. Now, off to the friendly confines, the outstanding broadcast team of the Chicago Cubs. It's Len Casper, Jim DeShays. Gentlemen, take it away.
Okay, Cap, Holly, thank you. It is getaway day. Always good to win when you're heading out of town. The Cubs have been here a while, JD, so a win today would be a 5-5 homestand.
Yeah, that would be a nice way to finish this homestand, taking 3 out of 4 from the Colorado Rockies. Extra innings again last night after the marathon the night before, but that 10-inning, 3.5-hour game felt like a 2-hour ball game after the one the night before. Cubs came back to tie that ball game, but ultimately lost it. Wesley Wright giving up 2 there in the 10th.
Yeah, the Cubs have come from behind a couple of times each of the last 2 nights, erasing 3-run deficits. Let's get some of the highlights from last night's game 3. Cubs winning the first 2 games, as JD mentioned, 16 innings the night before. 8th inning now, Cubs trailing by 2, and Luis Valbuena with the game tying 2-run blast. And sure enough, we're going to go beyond regulation again, but unfortunately for the Cubs on this night, the bullpen did not put up all zeros.
Yeah, Wesley Wright struggled. He walked a couple, gave up a couple of hits. The Rockies took advantage, pushed 2 across. Unfortunate for the Cubs because LaTroy Hawkins, the Rockies closer, was down. He wasn't available. And so that second run really provided a nice cushion for Adam Ottavino, who ultimately came in and nailed down the save, the first of his big league career. As a matter of fact, the first of his professional career. It didn't come without some drama, however. There was a base hit and 2 absolute rockets for outs in that inning, but the Rockies escaped with the W.
So you see what the starters have done so far in this series, and actually the bullpen with more innings and has pitched better.
Yeah, and 12 scoreless innings by the bullpen in that 16-inning game, really influencing those numbers. Cubs bullpen kind of around the middle of the pack in terms of bullpen ERA, but much better here in this series. They had been scuffling coming into this set with the Rockies.
And still not out of the woods. There are a couple of guys still really not available out of the bullpen today, so it'd be nice to see Jake Arrieta with what would be his 10th consecutive quality start. When we come back, we'll get the scoop on the trade deadline, which now comes up in a couple of hours. Our Cubs insider Patrick Mooney has all the info when we return.
Cubs Pregame Live is presented by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter. See Fields first. FieldsAuto.com.
Welcome to the new Fields Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Glenview.
It's our summer clearance event, and it's time for you to make your move to this incredible facility.
You want to go there. It's a fun thing to do. It's warm, and it's welcoming, and it's not intimidating, and it's nice.
Our new home is designed to deliver a superior level of customer service.
Plus, every new vehicle has a special celebration price during our summer clearance event.
See Fields first, the all-new Fields Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram at the Glen in Glenview.
If you sign up for DirecTV's latest deal, prepare to be blindsided. Because they'll double your rate before you know it. And you'll find you're locked into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000. That's why the smart choice is Xfinity. You can see all the best action in football all season long, with no surprises. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing.
victims of mesothelioma and asbestos lung cancer and their families may be entitled to financial compensation from over $18 billion in asbestos trust funds now available. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with or passed away from mesothelioma or asbestos lung cancer, call now. You may be entitled to a cash award. Time is limited.
Call 1-800-643-0993. That's 1-800-643-0993.
My favorite person to go to the Cubs game with would be my family. Always have a good time with my family.
Welcome back. The Rockies and the Cubs wrap up this series, and time for our Cubs insider Patrick Mooney, brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffbook.com. Nationwide is on your side. Trade deadline day. It's been quiet, eerily quiet so far for the Chicago Cubs. What are you hearing?
We're still on Bonifacio watch here. It was kind of funny watching him walk in the clubhouse today dressed in a suit, prepared for a trip out to the West Coast with the Cubs, but everyone expects him to be on a new team by 3 p.m. local time here. One player jokingly hugged him as soon as he walked in. Another guy was angling for extra locker space once Bonifacio moved out. So at this point, it's just a question of where, and obviously we've seen him get hot here at times, and he could fill a lot of different needs for multiple contending teams. So he'll be on the move here in the next couple hours.
Any possibilities of anybody else on the roster here, you know, by the 6th inning of this game?
That's a great question. We'll be watching for hugs in the dugout and stuff like that, but I do think that Theo and Jed have been pretty clear that they've been less inclined to blow up this team, that they realize that there's replacement costs, that if you start dealing away guys that are under club control, whether it's Justin Ruggiano, someone like that who could fill a need on next year's team. I think the real interesting part is it seems like a lot of teams are looking for lefty relievers, and the Cubs have two pretty good ones in Wesley Wright and James Russell, who I feel like we've had the same conversation with him for a couple of years now, and we'll see whether or not he sticks around.
Felix Doubront acquired from the Red Sox. We're not quite sure what his role will be or if he'll even start here with the Cubs. Are you hearing anything?
Cubs are taking their time revealing that. I think the Cubs don't know exactly what they have in him, even though they're certainly familiar with him with their time together in the Red Sox organization. And he's been really up and down. He was a really nice piece to that Red Sox World Series team last year, but he definitely wanted out of Boston and made that pretty clear. So he's kind of the latest change of scenery guy, and we'll see if the Cubs can fix what has been a really talented pitcher who just hasn't really found his footing yet.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty low-risk trade, as Doubront should get some opportunities here in the final couple of months. Well, the Red Sox did not sit pat today either. The big news of the day is the deal they made with the Oakland A's.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago when the Red Sox kind of hit the reset button with that huge trade with the Dodgers, and it seems like they've done it again, and that they were clearly looking towards next year. This was not kind of punting towards the future. They've completely revamped their lineup with a series of moves here.
Yeah, Yoenis Cespedes, and also Alan Craig and Joe Kelly from the Cardinals to the Red Sox. John Lackey goes to St. Louis. So it has been a really busy day for Ben Cherington.
Yeah, and if you look at the Cardinals, too, it seems like they didn't necessarily mortgage their farm system either. I know Cubs fans have been looking at that, but I think it just kind of goes to show that you never really know what's going to happen these last few hours when teams get desperate and teams get creative.
Interesting, isn't it? And JD and I talked about it over the weekend. The Cardinals' big issue has been offense this year, but it looks like John Mozeliak has decided let's get better with our pitching with Masterson and Lackey.
Yeah, everyone going into this year thought the Cardinals were so stocked in young pitching. I think the idea of trading Joe Kelly in spring training probably would have been crazy, but certainly they look at this division, it's pretty much wide open, and they obviously have that kind of October pedigree where they know once they get in, they never know what could happen. I think they've really put themselves in a nice position here with their rotation.
Our Cubs insider Patrick Mooney will be on dugout hug watch during the ball game today. We have the Cubs hosting the Colorado Rockies. We'll talk about the pitching matchup and get you set for Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.
DSL myth number 1. It can help your business save money. False. The truth is, when you compare our fastest internet to the fastest DSL from the phone company, Comcast Business gives you more for your money. Why pay more for less? Call today for a low price on speeds up to 150 megabits per second and find out more about our 2-year price guarantee. Comcast Business, built for business.
Your old air conditioner is costing you money. The summer's heating up. Stay cool with a new air conditioner from Four Seasons. And right now, get a new energy-saving air conditioner from just $24.95 installed. Furnace and AC combos from just $36.95. Plus, enjoy 5 years interest-free financing. Call today for your free estimate on a new AC from Four Seasons.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
When you get away from smartphones and video games and tablets, it's amazing what you can really plug into. This season, shop the brands you love, plus thousands of items on sale now. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
Angie posts, ugh, this stupid AC in this stupid car. It only works on high. Hang tight, Angie, because the Honda Summer Clearance event is here. This Honda CR-V has awesome standard features, like a rear-view camera and Bluetooth. Want to borrow my brush? Thanks. Keep it.
Hurry in to get a great deal on a Honda, named most trusted brand by KBB.com. The Honda Summer Clearance event is on now at your Honda dealer.
It's on. The games are on. The coverage is on. The action is on the all-new SEC network. And it's all on Xfinity, where you get the most live college football, including the Pac-12 networks, the Big Ten network, and ESPN Goal Line, plus the X1 Sports app to experience it all like never before. You can't get all this with DirecTV. Enjoy the all-new SEC network on TV and on the go with Watch ESPN starting August 14th. On Xfinity, your home for the most live sports.
From the friendly confines of Wrigley Field, we're set for Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Today, the Cubs wrap up a long 10-game homestand. They'll try to finish it at 5-5 and win this series against the Rockies. Always great to have you with us. Nice day at the ballpark. Jim DeShays, Len Casper with you. We've talked a lot of pitching with a lot of bullpen needed in this series. But today the Cubs have their ace, Jake Arrieta, on the mound.
Yeah, hopefully Arrieta can rest the bullpen and pitch well today and salvage a 500 homestand for the Cubs here. They dropped 2 or 3 to the Cardinals and the Padres, but a chance to get 3 out of 4 from the Rockies. Arrieta has been lights out, 9 consecutive quality starts, and ERA 174 in that stretch. This is from his last start against the Cardinals. He gave up 2 early runs and then shut them down the rest of the way. 6 innings of 2-run baseball. He punched out 6, walked 1. You see the nasty stuff, the good movement on the fastball, the power breaking ball. That's what the Rocky hitters are up against here today.
And he faces the Rockies for the first time in his career. He's been lights out at home. Pedro Hernandez found out, what, a day and a half ago that he was going to get the start today because Tyler Matzik, originally slated to start, had to pitch in relief.
Hey, Hernandez, most of those big league starts came last year with the Minnesota Twins. This is his Rockies debut today. Down at AAA this year, he had an ERA above 6, so a very favorable pitching matchup for the Cubs here this afternoon.
And the Cubs now facing 4 consecutive left-handers in this series, something you don't see very often.
No, and they do a lot better against left-handed pitching than they do against righties. When you look at the power numbers, the batting average, the 1-loss record against left-handed starters, all tilts the scales a little bit in the Cubs' favor.
All right, the Cubs have not won a home series in their last 6 tries, but a win today, and they'll take 3 of 4. Let's send it down to the field now for our national anthem.
Pressing at the Lowry organ as they honor America with our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
The great Wayne Messmer with our national anthem. Nice crowd on hand as the Cubs wrap up the homestand next.
It all comes down to this. Danny Walker at the plate. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs.
Come on, Danny, this is it.
Walker digs in.
Really wish I could finish this, but I'm so tired. Gotta get up in a few hours.
Stream your favorite movies with UVerse high-speed internet. With AT&T, the UVerse revolves around you.
I'm Dr. Andy, the Kia man. At Evergreen Kia, we're always fighting high prices. Yeah! And other people's high payments. Kia! Yeah! Have no fear. Kia man is here, and I'll defend you from these guys, their high prices and their high payments, and all the other competition.
And you'll save hundreds on gas with our fuel-efficient Kias, like this new Kia Sportage, loaded with equipment and gets 28 miles per gallon. Only $18,895 or $174 a month.
Take good care of my Kia, and we'll take good care of you.
The DirecTV customers you're about to meet have allowed us to switch their service to Dish Network.
The channel comparison between Dish Network and DirecTV was a pretty big difference for us. I wanted to watch my favorite TV show on Bravo, and it was not there.
She came ringing up to me, Mike, I can't find my show.
I was pretty upset.
I had an angry housewife of my own when she found out she could not have Bravo.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T UVerse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Mobilizing your world. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online, only at southwest.com.
Welcome back to the ballpark. You see, I'd call it mostly cloudy this afternoon, but warm temperatures. As these two teams wrap up a 4-game set, we'll see the Rockies at the foothills of the Rockies starting next Tuesday night. But first, a weekend in Los Angeles. Dodgers playing their best baseball of the year. A 5-game winning streak going into their game tonight against Atlanta, and a 3-game lead over in the National League West. Ahead of the Giants. Cubs and Rockies both in 5th place in their respective divisions. Jake Arrieta again facing this Colorado ball club for the first time in his career. And you'd have to think, JD, that gives him a Pretty big advantage considering the stuff he has facing a team for the first time.
Absolutely. They obviously have reviewed a lot of video. They've got plenty of scouting reports, but it always takes a while for a hitter to adjust to a pitcher to see that ball coming out of his hand, get a sense of the life on the fastball and the movement he has, and then also to figure out exactly how he's going to attack them on any given day. And with Arrieta, that can change from start to start depending on how good he feels about his curveball. Typically, in this run he's been on, he's had all of his weapons. You would have to say plus fastball, plus slider, plus curveball. On occasion, the changeup will be a little bit of an inconsistent pitch for him. But you know, he's a guy with plus stuff who is now locked in. His command has been far better this year than it has been earlier in his career. Pitching with a great deal of confidence. So, yeah, Rocky hitters are up against it here this afternoon.
Boy, a lot of activity here late before the trade deadline. Being reported Chris Denorfia going from the Padres to the Mariners. There are some reports that seem to indicate David Price is likely to be traded by the Rays. Before the deadline, Gerardo Parra heads to the Milwaukee Brewers. The Red Sox with a couple of huge deals today. John Lester goes to Oakland along with Johnny Gomes for Yoenis Cespedes. That's the biggest deal of the day, but maybe more intriguing is the John Lackey for Kelly and Craig from the Cardinals. I believe Lackey had a little fine print in his contract, JD, that if he had a pre-existing arm injury and missed significant time, that he'd have a $500,000 club option for next year.
Wow.
So
that's a heck of a deal for the Cardinals.
Made him way more palatable for a team trading for him. And by the way, Theo Epstein is the person who negotiated that deal. So let's get the Rockies Southwest starting lineup that'll face Jake Arrieta today. It'll be Charlie Blackmon, the all-star center fielder, to lead it off. Really good defensively in this series. Corey Dickerson is in left. Nolan Arenado plays third. He scored the game-winning run last night. Justin Morneau, the only guy in their lineup today with previous at-bats against Arrieta. Carlos Gonzalez is in right. Willeen Rosario, the catcher. Charlie Culberson in once again at short. DJ LeMahieu cooled off big time by the Cubs in this series. And the pitcher, Pedro Hernandez.
Cubs defense brought to you by Kia. You see Junior Lake out there in center. He's been getting some starts recently with all this left-handed pitching. He's got Coughlin on one side, Ruggiano on the other. Third to first will go Valbuena, Castro, Alcantara, and Rizzo, Wellington Castillo behind the plate for our Lexus starting pitcher, and Jake Arrieta will take the mound for the 16th time this year. 5-2 with a 2.18 ERA. Still a little bit shy in terms of innings pitched to be listed among the league leaders. But when he gets there, he'll be near the top of the leaderboard in just about every category. Batting average against ERA, walks plus hits per innings pitched. He's allowed just 2 home runs. He's just been an absolute revelation so far in 2014.
Everybody has had a chance to work the plate in this series. Although Phil Cuzzi drew the short straw, he had 16 innings of work 2 nights ago. It's a crew chief, Jerry Davis, today. We're assuming Phil slept well the last 2 nights.
Yeah, he's had time to recover. He's been able to rest for a couple days. He's now available. He could work the plate if need be. See, the fun thing about the trades today, normally these, you get the you know, like Samardzija for prospects deal. These are big leaguers for big leaguers. Right. Kind of intriguing stuff. Scouting report on Jake Arrieta. Fastball 92-96 with life. That lane-changing, late-breaking slider is just an absolutely menacing pitch. And keep it in the yard. Yeah, his home run rate the best in baseball. He's allowed just 2 home runs in 91 innings of work. He's given up very little slugging.
He's ready to work. The fastball low to get us started.
Blackmon looks like he's trying to hide from the law. The shades and the beard.
If he took the sunglasses off and went for his shave, I wouldn't know who he is. He does look like that wanted poster, no question.
A versatile player. He hits for power, can steal bases.
The crosswind from left to right today out of the northwest is always subject to change. That's the other thing about the wind trends, and we tell you, the Cubs record when the wind blows in or out or crosswind, but oftentimes you have combinations of those throughout the course of a ball game. .82 degrees. And Blackman strikes out to start it.
Well, we got a little of this, a little of that, and ultimately he gets a changeup for strike 3. Watch this one fade down and away. Has him lunging and missing.
So the Cubs pitching staff today, JD, can set an all-time club record. The most strikeouts the Cubs have ever had in a 3-game stretch is 44. They did that in late September of 2004. That strikeout right there, number 34 over the last 3 games. So they're 10 away from that. 18 on Tuesday. They had 15 more last night. Granted, they've had 7 extra innings during which to compile some extra Ks, but that guy right there with 11 last night is career high. There's no decision.
Weird game for Wood. He ended up allowing 4 runs in 6 innings on 8 hits, but he got a lot of swings and misses.
Dickerson bounces to Alcantara, who throws to Rizzo. 2 away here in the Rockies first. We'll bring up Nolan Arenado. Leadoff walk in the 10th. And would come around to score the game-winning run on the Brandon Barnes RBI single.
Cubs have been playing from behind a lot in this homestand, giving up a lot of early runs. They got the Rockies got a run in the first in the ball game last night after 2 were out. Matter of fact, the ball game started exactly today like it did last night. Strikeout, ground out to second, and then Arenado doubled. Came around on a Morneau single.
The other fascinating note here on trade deadline day is that apparently the A's are getting calls on Jason Hamill, who has struggled mightily since he was acquired from the Cubs. Wouldn't that be something? Lake makes the catch. Arrieta, a quick 1-2-3 opening inning, and the Cubs come up when we return.
At the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event, you'll discover what happens when we cut corners. The corners of test tracks, where we engineered our most track-tested line of performance vehicles ever. The result, our gold standard of performance. And the only place you'll find it is at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Lease the all-wheel drive 2014 GS 350 for $409 a month for 27 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
This might just look like snow. To us, it's an essential part of the next batch of Coors Banquet. That's because we brew our beer with only pure Rocky Mountain water. Coors, the banquet beer.
This is the year you spend more quality time with your dog. This is the best time for big savings at Bass Pro Shop's Fall Hunting Classic. This weekend, you can save up to an extra $100 on a new bow when you trade one in, plus free hunting seminars.
If today's Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Vinny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to JDRF. Here's the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. That leadoff man is Arizmendi Alcantara. Chris Coghlan plays left. Anthony Rizzo, 8 home runs here in the month of July. As we end it today, Castro at short, Ruggiano in right, Luis Valbuena starting to heat up again after a bit of a slump. Castillo the catcher, Lake in center, and Jake Arrieta the pitcher.
Defense for the Rockies brought to you by Kia. Dickerson, Blackman, the Gold Glover, Gonzalez in right. Infield, another Gold Glover at third base, Nolan Arenado. He won that last year as a rookie. Culberson and LeMahieu up the middle. Morneau at first base. Julian Rosario is behind the plate. And 25-year-old left-hander Pedro Hernandez for the Rockies this afternoon. You see his numbers at AAA Colorado Springs. Tough environment to pitch in, but still that 6.14 ERA gets your attention. 326 batting average allowed, 10 long ones and 85 innings.
Places Rob Scahill on the roster. Scahill sent back to the minors after getting the win last night. Two 2-0 on the switch hitting Alcantara.
Patience probably a pretty good idea here early on for the Cubs against this young left-hander. As I mentioned, he has some big league time, but not a lot. This is his first big league start with the Rockies, so there may be some extra nerves.
It's feathered in there for a strike on a cutter.
14th career start. This is his first this year. 4-pitch mix, fastball, curveball, cutter, and a change. He's not going to overpower you. That fastball will sit in the mid to upper 80s.
Three and one on Alcantara. Mendez is from Barquisimeto in Venezuela. A strike to make it full, 3-2. Signed by the Padres back in 06. Tyler Matzik was originally supposed to start, but he had to be used in the 16th inning on Tuesday night and took the loss. Bounce to Culberson, the shortstop, and he'll fire across for the out.
Yeah, those lengthy marathon losses, they really hurt because you expend a lot of resources, you burn out the bullpen. In the Rockies instance, they had to use a starting pitcher, forcing them to make this move for today. But an opportunity for this kid. He made his big league debut with the White Sox back in 2012. Made one start for them. Didn't go well. 4 innings, 12 hits, 3 long ones. Whew.
Classic delivery from the windup, and a strike on Chris Coghlan. Can't call him a funky left-hander.
Proven winner at the minor league level.
Get past that diving Morneau and into right. So Chris Coghlan came in hitting .366 this month. Only Seth Smith of the Padres has a higher batting average in July in the National League at .375.
Yeah, we've seen a whole lot of this. Hitting the ball with authority to right field. This time he gets out in front of a breaking ball. Morneau was shading him that way, trying to plug that hole, but Coghlan hit it sharp enough to get it by him.
Rizzo's 8 homers in July, tying him for the major league lead. Chris Carter of the Astros, Carlos Santana of the Indians also with 8. He just got clipped. It has become a much more frequent event.
Well, he probably should lead the league in this category. He's so close to home plate and he covers the plate so well. Just a byproduct of doing business.
It's the 11th time he's been hit.
Not to mention the times he's been hit when swinging at pitches.
Right, and those don't count as hit by pitches. Let's see, he has been hit this month alone 6 times. Over half of his hit by pitches have come here in July. He became an all-star and people started throwing at him.
Yeah, you keep hitting the ball out of the ballpark and folks say, uh-oh, we gotta find a way to neutralize Anthony Rizzo. And one of the ways to try to do that is to pitch him inside. Then there is risk, of course. You hit him, you put a man on base.
One ball, no strikes on Castro. 2 on.
In case you were wondering, the league leader is Russell Martin. He's been hit 13 times.
Well, he could lead the league when it's all said and done.
He's with a host of guys at 11 in second place. So something to shoot for. Ron Hunt back in the day got hit by more than 50 pitches in a single season. I think that's the record.
Hunt, Baylor, Biggio are the
those
3 guys I think of. Does Biggio have the record?
All time?
The career record?
I don't know. He might.
I'm going to guess that it's Biggio.
That's why he extended his career. He wanted to get that.
Yeah, Craig Biggio, 285. Cut and a miss. Huey Jennings got hit more often, but much of his career was played before 1900.
Yeah, Huey, he was a pincushion. He has the single season record of 51, but that was 1896. And
so we'll say the modern era, it's Biggio.
And the single season modern record is Ron Hunt. 1971, got plunked 50 times. Scrappy infielder, choke up, crowd the plate. Go ahead, hit me.
2-2 the count. Here's a pitch. Bounce to third. And they're able to turn it 5-4-3. Well, Brett Anderson got a bunch of double play balls last night. Hernandez following suit today. Scoreless after an inning.
That's a nickel, and that's a dime. Go ahead and keep them in your pocket. You won't be needing them with us. At Southwest, we keep our low fares simple. Because low fares should never mean low service. We don't charge you from A to B, we fly you from A to B. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
How to enjoy 4 times HD TV quality with LG G3. Just watch. Introducing America's first Quad HD smartphone. 5 times the resolution of the iPhone 5S. LG G3. Simple is the new smart. T-Mobile will pay your termination fees, so you can get the new LG G3 now for $0 down on the fastest nationwide 4G LTE network. Available now at T-Mobile.
When you run a business, you can't settle for slow. That's why I always choose the fastest intern, the fastest printer, the fastest lunch, turkey club, the fastest pencil sharpener, the fastest elevator, the fastest speed dial, the fastest office plan. So why wouldn't I choose the fastest Wi-Fi? I would.
Switch to Comcast Business Internet and get the fastest Wi-Fi included. Comcast Business, built for business.
Hey, the Cubs will celebrate the 80s on the next homestand. That means collars up for JD and me with the golf shirts. The Tampa Bay Rays and the Milwaukee Brewers come in for a 7-game homestand. Make sure to visit WrigleyField100.com for all the planned 80s festivities. For tickets, visit Cubs.com today. You know what we'll be during that homestand? We'll be Men at Work.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Milli Vanilli.
Lip sync. A broadcast open. Yeah, I will be out of control during the 80s homestand, so you're going to have to keep
good.
me.
No, I'm going to turn you loose,
70s
man.
is kind of your decade. The 80s, way too much useless information from that decade. Swing and a miss by Morneau on the slider at 88 from Arrieta. Sinker's a little low and off the outside corner. 2-1. One other game going on right now, and that's the White Sox and Tigers in Detroit, and they're tied at 4 in the bottom of the 4th. John Danks starting today on deadline day for the Sox. Jose Abreu with 20-game hitting streak now. He's 2 for 2. 2-2 the count.
Every pitch has a purpose for Arrieta. You see him working down and away. His breaking ball well down below the knees. A chase pitch, but Morneau able to get a piece of it.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is a tough pitch to do anything with.
Yeah, some soft breaking balls and then that power slider in under the hands. Just tight rotation, very difficult for the hitter to recognize that spin. Sees fastball and just keeps chasing in on him.
Gonzalez out of the lineup last night. Ankle and knee issues. Been playing through them for the most part. And he takes a curve over for strike 1. The Cubs over shifting to the right on the infield. They move Valbuena, the third baseman. He's right near the second base umpire, Phil Cuzzy. And leave Castro over on the other side at short. 1-1. Here it comes off the end of the bat. It's going to carry out the Lake in left center for the out.
The quality of Arrieta's pitches are so good that in any given count, he could go to any one of his pitches and feel like he's made the right decision. He reminds me a little bit of a golfer standing out there in the fairway, going through his irons. Well, I could hit an easy 7 or a hard 8, and he's the same way. I could snap off that curveball, or I could throw the hard slider, 2-seamer down and in. That's a good weapon too. A lot of pitchers are more like me on the golf course. We're like, I'm going to hit this club because this is my favorite club. And I have confidence in this club.
Even if it's not the right club?
Yeah, a lot of pitchers, they go to that, just whatever, especially under duress, they'll go to that, their go-to pitch because they feel comfortable with it. Right now, I think if you were to ask Jake, he would say, I feel comfortable with all my pitches. That's a good place to be for a pitcher. That's when I talked to him a week or two ago about this front door slider is a pitch he's been trying to work in more frequently. Just a little cement mixture that sits on the inside corner.
2-1 on the way. Luciano in right. Back-to-back 1-2-3s for Arrieta to start it.
Which car brand has the most repeat buyers? Hyundai. And which midsize sedan has both more horsepower and interior room? The Sonata. All of which leaves the rest wanting. The value of the Sonata. The power of America's best warranty. Get the Sonata for 0% financing for 72 months or $2,000 retail bonus cash. Visit buyhyundai.com.
Burger King wants to officially change the $5 bill. Please don't laugh.
Try the new Mushroom and Swiss Big King, now in the Burger King 2 for $5 menu, where you can mix and match 2 large premium sandwiches for just $5. Only at Burger King.
Hi, everybody. It's Pat Hughes from Binny's Beverage Depot. What an amazing starting lineup. I'm looking out at over 3,000 spirits, and the prices, they are the guaranteed lowest on every bottle every day. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Get unbeatable performance at an unbeatable price with Pittsburgh Ultra Advanced Stain. It's a stain and sealer in one, making it perfect for both new and previously stained wood. Right now, save $7 a gallon. That's $35 on 5-gallon pails. Finish your painting projects fast with the Wagner Pro Coat Sprayer. It works great for paint, stain, and sealers with no thinning, and it pulls right from a 1 or 5-gallon pail. Right now, $197.
Save big money at Menards.
Well, welcome back to Wrigley Field. We're scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second, and the trade deadline just a couple hours away. Of course, a number of people on watch, one of which Emilio Bonifacio, who of course has kind of been the waiting man ever since yesterday. Again, not in the lineup today. This morning, being in the clubhouse, I got to see some of the guys, one of which, John Baker, trying to loosen the mood a little bit. His locker right next to Bonifacio's, and he said, hey man, if you're traded, I'm taking both of them because I need all the room I can get. Again, a couple of laughs, but Bonnie walks into that clubhouse this morning, guys, with his suitcase in his suit, ready to go to LA if that's where he's going, but he also handed off his suitcase and said, well, I'm not really sure where this is headed, but here it is. So it's a difficult situation, guys, but in a couple of hours, he'll know where he belongs.
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, it's one of those days you really have to abide by the don't worry about things that you can't control mentality.
Yeah, buy into the your career is this journey, and you never know exactly where you're going to end up, but embrace it and have fun with it. And I think for a guy like Bonifacio, he would welcome the opportunity to go somewhere and be in a pennant race.
Justin Ruggiano looks at a strike from the left-hander Hernandez, making his Wrigley Field debut.
Read a couple of reports online earlier. Apparently Alan Craig very upset being dealt from St. Louis earlier today.
He goes to Boston as Blackman makes the running grab.
It's the nature of the game, right? You think about the Cardinals in recent years, all the success they've had, but you know, David Freese, see you later. Albert Pujols, see you later. Alan Craig, see you later. They get a little bit of a logjam in the outfield over there. This will open things up a little bit for Mike Matheny as he tries to apportion the playing time. The Canadian drinking team is here today. Welcome, fellas.
Good place to be, I guess. Day baseball at Wrigley Field. I'm sure there are a few people watching who've had a few pops out here at the ballpark over the years.
Just don't drive home.
That's exactly right. In there on Valbuena. 3 hits last night, knocked in 3, including the game tying 2-run homer.
Having a nice homestand. He had been scuffling for a while there, and lately he's been swinging it well. 3 home runs on the homestand.
Bounced past the mound, but picked up by Culberson, the shortstop, and he makes the play. Seen Culberson throughout because Josh Rutledge just has not been feeling right due to illness.
Yeah, and Culberson's made a number of really good plays in this series, so I don't think they have any issues with him defensively. They can swing the bat as well as Rutledge does, and of course Troy Tulowitzki is the guy, but he's on the DL. Good play by Culberson, and the young left-hander settling in here. Got that big double play to end the first. 2 quick outs here in the second.
On Wellington Castillo.
I think the all-time great practical joke would be for Joe Girardi to call Derek Jeter into his office and tell him he's been traded. So Derek, we've been getting some phone calls, and the Rocks are marking their turf.
Where would Jeter be traded is the question. Overseas.
Japan.
We have sold your rights to a team in Japan. Nothing after 2.
Making me cough just the thought of it.
Chris posts, my broken sunroof is stuck open. Luckily, it's only a 100% chance of rain today. Rain does terrible things in my hair too, Chris. Fortunately, it's nice and dry. At the Honda Summer Clearance event, check out the Accord from Honda, named KBB.com's most trusted brand. It comes with awesome standard features like a rear-view camera, Bluetooth, and Pandora compatibility.
Sorry. Hurry in to get a great deal on a Honda Accord, winner of the Best Value in America award. Now, at your Honda dealer.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced, or descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Menards is your one-stop shop for all of your storage solutions. Keep your garage or shed organized with a 4-shelf resin storage kit from Plano. It's easy to assemble and holds up to 75 pounds per shelf. Right now, just $19.99. Organize your closets with Rubbermaid. This 5 to 8 foot closet organizer kit comes with 3 wardrobe shelves and linen shelves. It features fast set, easy to install hardware. Now only $24.99.
Save big money at Menards.
Each time you wear your Immerman Angels jersey, each person you tell, each dollar you raise makes a difference. Join Team Immerman Angels so no one faces cancer alone. Find out more at immermanangels.org.
We've played 2. There's no score. Next homestand, we celebrate the 80s on Friday, August 8th, 3:05 first pitch. The Rays are in town. First 10,000 fans at the ballpark will receive an illuminating first night game Rick Sutcliffe bobblehead presented by Las Vegas, of course. This is the 8th of 10 special Wrigley Field bobblehead giveaways. Visit Cubs.com to reserve your seat. Hello.
Hope you're all having a good day.
How could you not be?
First birthday wishes go out to Blake Overholt. We'll get started here in the 3rd. Culberson breaks his bat. Concentration by Castro to watch the ball, not the bat, which ended up about 10 feet away from him as he made the play.
Marietta doesn't just beat you, he breaks your toys too. Good concentration by Castro. He continues his real good run here defensively. Hasn't made an error in, what's the number now? 37?
37 games and counting.
Every time I say that, I hope the next ball doesn't get hit to me. I don't want to be responsible for jinxing it.
Strike called on LeMahieu. who's gone 1 for 13 in the series with 6 strikeouts. He came in red hot. He was pretty upset with himself that he was unable to at least make contact on that suicide squeeze attempt the other night in extras. As he fouls off 0-2.
See, in a case like this, helps to dispel that hot hand theory, right? Guy swinging well, you keep playing him because he's hot. Well, no guarantee that because you're 12 out of your last 17 that you're going to get hits the next day.
Castro again. Are you nervous?
Yes, just a little bit. Because the statute of limitations is 2 batters. If you were to come in and error 2 batters after I say it, I'm okay. If it happens immediately, it's my fault.
Here's Hernandez, first major league plate appearance. 3 for 34 in his minor league career. Ball 1 outside. Big right-hander coming back, and a fastball at 93 for strike 2 and 1.
Hernandez in take mode for 2. Now he'll be willing to swing the bat.
Struck him out to end the inning. Perfect through the order. 1 time around. Jake Arrieta, 0-0.
Chili's $20 fajitas with friends, featuring grilled chicken and our new pork carnitas. Enjoy an app and 2 fajita entrees now with fresh new toppings. Call a friend and head to Chili's for $20 fajitas with friends. More life happens here.
We know that guy.
Dr. Abdullah. Potentially violent. Approach with caution.
Time magazine raves. A most wanted man is thrilling. Philip Seymour Hoffman is brilliant.
There's no going back.
A most wanted man. Rated R. Now playing.
Thank you, Daddy, for defending our country.
Thank you for your sacrifice, and thank you for your bravery.
Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you, Daddy.
Military families are uniquely thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA Auto Insurance can be one of them. If you're a current or former military member or their family, get an auto insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
It's your first time here, and 80% of the bar is staring at you. Good thing you invited Tommy, who triples your street cred. You order 3 Modelo Especials, earning 7 slow nods from the crowd. You're 20% more confident. Then you remember your ace in the hole, Dylan, and his encyclopedic knowledge of garage rock. Nailed it. Modelo Especial. Discover the Especial.
Tonight, don't miss Sports Talk Live on Comcast Sportsnet. David Kaplan leads a roundtable on the day's hottest topics, interviews Chicago's biggest stars, and interacts with you, the viewer. Sports Talk Live, presented by the all-new Chevy Silverado. Tonight at 5 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Saturday night, it's the Cubs and the Los Angeles Dodgers from venerable Dodger Stadium. We'll have coverage at 7:30. Our pregame brought to you by Fields Auto Group. Cubs and Dodgers Saturday 7:30 here on CSN. Tsuyoshi Wada for the Cubs against Hyunjin Ryu for the Dodgers in a battle of lefties. Dan Herron's going to go tomorrow night for LA against rookie right-hander Kyle Hendricks of the Cubs.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see David Price in a Dodger uniform. And one of the teams that apparently have expressed interest.
How hot is Matt Kemp? 3 homers in his last 2 games. Had the game-ending RBI hit last night to beat the Braves.
He is hotter than a depot stove.
Junior Lake on the ground into left. Finishing what has been a very, very tough month. Came in 4 out of 41 in July.
They just 1 out of 16 on the homestand. This time he gets a cutting fastball moving in on him. He gets on top of it and finds a little wiggle room there on the left side of the infield. Always nice to have a speedy guy in the 8-hole in the National League. That's a pitcher to bunt him over. Easier, obviously, if you got a guy with pretty good wheels, and Lake qualifies. Don't have to be real fine with this bunt.
Nice job by Arrieta. They'll go 1-4 on the sacrifice.
Soft with that top hand, just catch the baseball with the barrel of the bat. Really have to direct it that much, just get it in the dirt out in front of home plate. The only guy who's going to make a play on Junior Lake there is if you bunted it right in front of home plate and Rosario was able to jump on it.
Alcantara grounded just short in the first inning. Able to get back in time.
Mayhew keeping a close watch on Lake out there at second base.
Hernandez from the Padres, the White Sox, and the Carlos Quentin deal 2 years ago. Final day of 2011, December 31st. Simone Castro and Hernandez for Quentin.
I think that fastball might play a little better than the radar gun indicates. Hides it pretty well.
Yep. Sent from the White Sox to the Twins in the Francisco Liriano deal. Trade deadline 2 years ago. Shallow center, LeMahieu backpedaling and makes a catch. So 2 outs. Bring up Coughlin.
Bless you.
Been waiting to say that all year, haven't you?
Yeah, I tell everybody, all the camera guys. Find me a sneezer.
He went.
Coughlin not happy with that little half swing. Going to take a little time to regroup. Chance here to draw first blood.
Outside for a ball. 1-1. 2 hits in the ball game. The Cubs own both. Coughlin in the first and Lake here in the third. The air to center. Blackman has it. So hit hard, but for an out. And after 3, we're scoreless at Wrigley.
The banquet bottle is a piece of our history. That's because it's filled with over 140 years of Rocky Mountain tradition. We'll drink to that. Coors, the banquet beer.
Introducing Domino's new specialty chicken. We bake our boneless white meat chicken with toppings, sauces, and cheese right on top. It's a little unexpected, but hey, that's what we do. Order 2 of our new specialty chicken or medium 2-topping pizzas for only $5.99 each.
This summer,
ready to save the world?
The biggest event just got bigger.
Listening.
0% financing for 72 months on most Ford models.
Seems easy enough.
Only during the Ford Summer Spectacular sales event.
I'll drive.
Don't miss it. Now go get them. Just announced. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on select Ford vehicles during the Ford Summer Spectacular sales event.
If you sign up for DirecTV's latest deal, prepare to be blindsided. Because they'll double your rate before you know it. And you'll find you're locked into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000. That's why the smart choice is Xfinity. You can see all the best action in football all season long, with no surprises. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
I love the Cubs because my grandpa loved the Cubs and my dad loved the Cubs, and it's a legacy. So I'm here at my bachelorette party saying I love the Cubs!
Hey, it's time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag NorthsideFanPhoto for a chance to have it appear later on in today's broadcast, brought to you by AT&T.
Game
Baker
on.
Responding.
Game on.
We will keep you up to date. Ground ball foul by Blackman. 9 up, 9 down for Jake Arrieta.
John Baker should respond with 1-0, his lifetime record against the Rockies.
Looks like Asdrubal Cabrera is headed to the Washington Nationals.
Really? Well, Zimmerman's hurt again, isn't he?
Yes, I guess Rendon probably at third, Cabrera at second.
And perhaps a healthy Zimmerman back in left field.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. 10 straight set down by Arrieta to start the ball game.
Well, this is just emphasizing what I said earlier about the command of all of his pitches. This one comes with a power curve ball in the zone, but not for long enough to tempt you.
Strike called on Dickerson.
This kid's got a good looking swing, and he's got the numbers to back it up. 325, 13 long ones. He's driven in 40, an on-base percentage of 391. Change up.
The desired result. Person's from Macomb, Mississippi. 8th rounder in 2010 out of Meridian Community College.
Now we're going to climb the ladder. Change the eye level. Hitters can't eliminate any pitch. They got to keep everything in play. Here comes the curveball.
And he chased it.
This is fun to watch.
It is. 5 strikeouts. He's faced 11 now.
It's almost as if he's saying to himself, what do I want to strike this guy out with? Let's go with the curveball this time. Worked on Blackman. Works on Dickerson.
Arenado fouls. Just off the outside. Boy, after the Margin Hamill trade, Jake Arrieta has just said, okay, I'll be the number 1. I got it. One, 2. Elevated on the slider, but he's going to get Arenado. Perfect through 4. Jake Arrieta in a scoreless tie.
You know things will always change, so you need an airline that can change a ticket without charging a fee. An airline that does more and asks less. Where you need to be is just as important to us as it is to you. Hassle-free ticket changes. Just one of the many little things we can do to roll with you. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
It all comes down to this. Danny Walker at the plate. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs.
Come on, Danny, this is it.
Walker digs in.
Really wish I could finish this, but I'm so tired. Gotta get up in a few hours.
Stream your favorite movies with UVerse high-speed internet. With AT&T, the UVerse revolves around you.
Sarah posts, nothing like walking 3 miles because my car broke down. Hashtag woohoo. That's a serious problem in those shoes, Sarah. Let's find you something more dependable at the Honda Summer Clearance event. Like a Honda Accord with awesome standard features like a rear view camera and Bluetooth. You can throw these away. I just went too far. I can tell by your face.
Hurry in to get a great deal on a Honda. Named Most Trusted Brand by KBB.com. The Honda Summer Clearance event is on now at your Honda dealer.
Jonas Hagos, our military recognition today, spent much of his childhood in a refugee camp in Sudan, came to the United States when he was 10, joined the Army in 2001, awarded the Purple Heart after being seriously injured, currently is with the mission continues here in Chicago. Got a great ovation.
On Saturday, August 9th, 3:05 first pitch with the Rays in town. First 10,000 fans here at the ballpark will receive Cubs retro headphones presented by Athletico Physical Therapy. Visit Cubs.com to purchase your tickets today.
Well, Pedro Hernandez up against Jake Arrieta today, but like Arrieta, he has kept the opposition off the board. The Cubs do have a couple of hits, several base runners, but haven't yet broken the seal. 1-0 on Rizzo. He got hit by a pitch in the first inning. Ground ball foul.
So Rosario setting up way off the outside corner. Wanted that plate moving off the plate. It stayed in the zone, but it was down. In and out, in and out. They're going to try fastball in.
Strike
good
call.
Pitch. Yeah, a little cutter that found its way to the inside corner.
Line drive, base hit, center field.
Batting average continues to climb for Anthony Rizzo. Really the only pitch in the sequence that there's much he could do with, and he lines a single to center field.
Castro starting up in less than a half hour. The Cardinals and the Padres from San Diego. Shelby Miller and Odrisamer Despaigne has got his big league career off to a big start. 2-2 with a 166. Maybe the best name in baseball. Outside 2-0.
What's his first name again?
Odrisamer Despaigne. We missed him. We didn't see him. But he knows what he's doing. I've seen comparisons to Livan Hernandez.
Well, we've got to look at a couple of young pitchers on this homestand. There are a couple of guys that we really haven't seen a whole lot of that have been very impressive. Tyson Ross of the Padres was really, really good. And Anderson in the ball game yesterday, boy, he was impressive. I like that kid.
Gave up a lot of hits, but used the double play ball to his advantage. Worked quickly.
Get a lot of ground balls, you're going to give up hits. You don't give up slugging, and if you don't walk people, you're going to end up pitching a lot of low-run games. And plus, he's left-handed and he's so quick to the plate. The Cubs really couldn't run against him. You know, that's the one way to combat all those double play situations. Try to steal bases, but that didn't work out either. They just couldn't get a jump on him. When they finally tried, it was Coughlin, and he got picked off.
Three and two. Rizzo at first, nobody out. There he goes. Castro ground ball to third. They still get the out at second, but Rizzo topples over LeMahieu on a clean but hard slide. That would have been two. So Castro safe on a fielder's choice.
Give LeMahieu credit hanging in there with the big bear bearing down on him. Castro's been hitting the ball on the ground a lot lately. They start Rizzo to stay out of the double play, and he gets a piece of LeMahieu.
Pretty late slide, but LeMahieu had no problem with it. That was Matt Holliday-like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Holliday takes some grief from some Cub fans, but I'll take him on my team any day. And if you're Anthony Rizzo, you're going in there. You're telling that middle infielder you better pay attention.
And the guy making the turns got to, you got to feel for the play. And LeMahieu probably would have been better off catching that ball and peeling off to avoid the hit.
I think Cub fans have really grown to love the way Rizzo plays. As we've talked about all the hit by pitches, he rarely flinches. And not afraid to go in hard at second.
And the other thing that, the key there for the second baseman is just try to get up, get airborne a little bit so that leg's not anchored when you take the hit.
Now I'm getting pushback on Twitter. He's nothing like Matt Holliday. Holliday has his spikes up. He goes cleats first. I've seen Matt Holliday a lot, and I don't think he's a dirty player. That's my opinion. One and two on Ruggiano.
One of the biggest challenges for a shortstop when they convert to second base is making that turn. The shortstop always has the base runner in front of him. See the play develop, whether you have to bail or not. Easier to get up over the top, but the second baseman whose back is to the base runners is in more peril.
You challenge John Baker, and this is what you get. Although, is he using the right end of the U to form the B? Can't really tell. If so, that's very efficient use of those cups. No. He separated the U and the B. That's well done, and doing it obviously in reverse from behind.
He didn't like the way that S was laid out. He's tweaking it a little bit. Not much of a move that time from Hernandez. Castro doesn't run much.
Swing and a miss.
Starlin has stolen 3 bases this year. He's been caught twice. Back in spring training, he said something about stealing 25, 30 bases. That's just the optimism of spring training.
Jake Arrieta might not need too much support, but he needs some. Slide step in the pitch outside on a cutter. 1-1.
Oh, Hernandez is kind of going into a four-corner stall here. Hard to score when the other team's holding the ball. If you're going to swing, you might as well swing hard. Well, Bueno turned that one loose. That was some kind of an off-speed pitch. 81 miles an hour up. A hopeful Hernandez trying to walk off the field after that last offering, but Jerry Davis not going to give him that much off the outside corner. Jerry typically pretty tight back there.
Pitch, swing, and the miss. So the inning is over. Jake Arrieta back to work. Has not allowed a base runner to this point. Nothing after 4.
At Lexus, we pursue groundbreaking advances in safety by taking our eyes off the road and focusing on drivers. Real people, real distractions, without real consequences. The result? Our gold standard of safety. And the only place you'll find it is at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Lease the 2014 ES350 for $349 a month for 27 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus.
The DirecTV customers you're about to meet have allowed us to switch their service to Dish Network.
Even though we're paying about the same, we get less. We get channels that we are used to seeing in DirecTV. We don't have it on a comparable package with Dish. What we found out was we were missing some of our favorites. NFL Network wasn't available. Animal Planet, also not available. Nat Geo, not available. And we didn't have Bravo either. All channels that we had on DirecTV with a similar package.
I'm Dr. Andy, the Kia man. And over in Kia, we're always fighting high prices. Yeah! And other people's high payments. Kia! Yeah! Have no fear. Kia man is here, and I'll defend you from these guys, their high prices and their high payments, and all the other competition.
And you'll save hundreds on gas with our fuel-efficient Kias, like this new Kia Sportage, loaded with equipment and gets 28 miles per gallon. Only $18,895 or $174 a month.
Take good care of my Kia, and we'll take good care of you.
The Cubs page on CSNChicago.com.
For our Xfinity high-speed action, Jake Arrieta's done this before. He had back-to-back starts in which he flirted with history, and he may do the same again today.
Yeah. And it's a dizzying array of pitches if you're a Rocky hitter to contemplate. It's not just leaning heavily on the fastball. As a matter of fact, that slider curveball combination probably been his best weapons so far today. He's had a good changeup too since the 1st of May. That's when he entered the rotation. His ERA 2.18.